Saturn is one of the most beautiful objects human beings have ever seen. Through a telescope, it does not look dangerous. It looks calm. It looks balanced. A pale golden sphere, floating in darkness, surrounded by rings so perfect they almost seem designed. But that beauty is the first lie. Saturn is not peaceful. It is not a gentle world wrapped in jewelry. It is a vast, violent planet made almost entirely of gas, pressure, speed, radiation, and storms. The only reason it looks serene is distance. From far away, danger can look like art. If Earth is a place with ground, air, oceans, mountains, and a surface you can stand on, Saturn is something far stranger. It is a planet with no solid floor waiting below the clouds. If you tried to descend into it, you would not land. You would fall through layer after layer of atmosphere, and every kilometer would make the world around you heavier, hotter, darker, and more hostile. At first, you would pass through the upper clouds. They look soft from space, but they are moving at terrifying speed. Saturn rotates once in only about 10.5 hours, even though it is enormous. That fast rotation stretches the planet outward at the equator and flattens it at the poles. The whole world is physically distorted by its own spin. That spin also drives winds that can reach speeds far beyond the most violent hurricanes on Earth. These are not short storms passing over land. They are planetary bands, enormous rivers of atmosphere racing around a world 9 times wider than Earth. Some flow east, others flow west. Between them, storms twist, merge, collapse, and reform. From orbit, these cloud bands look elegant. Up close, they would be a wall of motion. There would be no horizon like the one we know on Earth. No calm blue sky. Only layers of gas, ammonia ice, hydrogen, helium, haze, lightning, and pressure. And pressure is where Saturn becomes truly terrifying. On Earth, pressure changes slowly as you go down through the ocean. On Saturn, the deeper you fall, the atmosphere becomes denser until gas begins to behave less like air and more like a crushing fluid. Your spacecraft would be squeezed from every direction. Instruments would fail. Heat shields would weaken. The view outside would disappear into darkness and turbulent cloud. There is no safe depth, no hidden surface, no place to stop. Eventually, the pressure becomes so extreme that hydrogen, the lightest element in the universe, is forced into a metallic state. This is not metal like iron or steel. It is hydrogen transformed by unimaginable compression, able to conduct electricity deep inside the planet. That layer helps power Saturn's magnetic field. And that magnetic field creates another danger. Saturn does not sit quietly in space. It surrounds itself with a vast magnetosphere, a region shaped by charged particles, radiation, plasma, and the planet's rapid rotation. Spacecraft can cross these regions, but not casually. Radiation can damage electronics, corrupt sensors, and slowly destroy systems that were not built to survive it. Then there is the sound. Saturn produces radio emissions. They are not sound waves traveling through space the way sound travels through air, but when translated into audio, they become something eerie. A rising, bending electric cry. It is not a monster screaming, of course. It is physics. Charged particles moving along magnetic field lines. But the effect is unforgettable. The planet that looks silent is electrically alive. One of Saturn's most famous features is the North Polar Hexagon. It is a 6-sided storm pattern sitting around the planet's North Pole. Each side of that shape is enormous. The structure is wider than Earth. It has lasted for decades, maybe longer, locked into the atmosphere like a geometric scar. Scientists can model parts of it. They can connect it to jet streams and rotating fluids. But the sight of it still feels unnatural. a perfect-looking polygon in the clouds of a gas giant. And below that strange storm, there is still no surface. The rings create a different illusion. They make Saturn appear delicate, almost royal. But the rings are not smooth bands of light. They are made of countless pieces of ice and rock, from dust grains to chunks the size of buildings. Every fragment is moving at orbital speed. If you were inside the ring plane, it would not feel like drifting through a peaceful halo. It would be a region of frozen debris, gravitational patterns, collisions, shadows, and razor-thin orbital structure. The rings are beautiful because we see them from far away. Up close, they are a storm of ice. Saturn also controls a family of moons, and those moons make the system even stranger. Titan, the largest, has a thick orange atmosphere and weather that resembles Earth's in a disturbing way. It has clouds, rain, rivers, lakes, and shorelines. But the liquid is not water. It is methane and ethane, flowing under a cold sky where ordinary water behaves like stone. Titan is not Saturn, but it shows what the Saturn system does best. It takes familiar ideas and makes them alien. Then there is Enceladus, a small icy moon that should have been frozen and quiet. Instead, it shoots plumes of water vapor and ice into space from cracks near its south pole. Beneath its ice shell is a hidden ocean. That ocean may contain chemistry that makes scientists pay attention, because wherever there is liquid water, heat and chemistry, the question of life becomes harder to ignore. So the Saturn system is not only dangerous, it is deceptive. It shows beauty first, then complexity, then violence, then mystery. The original human mistake was thinking that beauty meant peace. Saturn's color is gentle, its rings are graceful, its motion is slow in the night sky. But the planet itself is a world of extremes. Winds faster than earthly storms, pressure that can crush machines, metallic hydrogen deep below, radiation trapped in magnetic fields, icy debris moving at orbital speeds, and moons with methane seas and hidden oceans. If a human could somehow approach Saturn, the danger would begin long before reaching the clouds. Navigation would have to account for gravity, radiation, ring material, and the motion of moons. A descent probe would survive only briefly. A crewed mission into the atmosphere is not a challenge waiting for better engineering. It is a physical impossibility with the materials and biology we have. Saturn is not a destination in the way Mars might be a destination. It is a planet to study from a distance, a world that teaches us how violent beauty can be. And that is what makes it so powerful. It reminds us that the universe does not need to look hostile to be hostile. Some dangers announce themselves with fire, impact, and visible destruction. Others wear symmetry. Others shine. Others become icons on posters and telescope images. Saturn is the second kind. It is a warning wrapped in gold, a storm system disguised as a jewel, a planet whose most beautiful features are also evidence of forces that would destroy anything fragile enough to call itself alive. From Earth, Saturn is magnificent. From inside its gravity, inside its rings, inside its clouds, it is something else entirely. It is pressure. It is speed. It is radiation. It is cold chemistry and impossible depth. It is a world without a flaw, without mercy, and without peace. The jewel of the solar system is real, but so is the nightmare hidden inside it.